Good morning. It's so awesome to be here today with you on the art of encouragement. My name's Nick Patterson, and the focus of our vodcast each week is just what it says right here. Oh, there it is, to spread hope and inspire change. Why do we care? What is this to us? Why does it matter? People in our lives have spoken hope. They have inspired change in our lives, and we want to do the same for as many people as we can. At the heart of the art of encouragement, that is our focus, that is our mission, and we're so glad that you have joined us today. On today's podcast, we're looking at how hope can knock on our door, shake us up, and totally change our trajectory in life, going from one direction to the other. Sometimes there's a knock at the door, and we don't always know what hope looks like. We don't know the form that it's going to come in. We don't know who is going to represent hope, but we've got to be ready. We've got to be willing to accept that sometimes things are going to happen that shake us up and surprise us. But are we ready? Are we willing to go out on a limb in faith at times, most often in faith, and accept hope? Sometimes we like to stay stagnant. Sometimes we like to stay where we are. Hey, good morning, Mark. I saw yesterday just a meme online, and it represented, I have thought about it over and over since I saw it. And it was kind of a religious meme. It said, I will heal you. And the two guys said, no, we're on disability. You know, they, yeah, sometimes we we find ourselves there. We become complacent in our disillusionment. We become complacent in saying, well, that's just how I am. We become complacent in saying, well, if if you're going to be around me, you're just going to have to accept this. And if we're growing, if we're changing, if we're I want to say evolving, but I know some of our listeners might have an issue with that word, but I mean it totally just from our human journey standpoint. If we're growing in our faith, in our professions, in our families, in our roles as father, mother, brother, uncle, friend, mentor, coach, then we're going to be changing because we're not the same person we were yesterday, let alone 2 years ago.
Oh, yes, 100%. And we can even see that in pictures. I'm seeing some pictures. My physical body is changing. I don't know if you noticed. I'm going to be posting some later. Um,
Not you.
no, it's true. It's true.
Timeless.
Huh?
You're timeless.
Timeless, just like the
Yes.
Rolex. Yes, I love it. Well, we're not the same. And what I'm also noticing is somebody wrote to me and said, "Well, Mark, you are different. You something is different about you." And yes, it is different because we have to step up. It just like um, Apostle Paul said. Cannot be like children anymore, right? And you have to step up in your spiritual journey, in your spiritual walk, in your daily life. You cannot stay in the same place. And I'm even looking at my pictures and I'm thinking, yes, I did have to step up. When you see things, when you experience things, it is different. I had an interesting week. I do have to just watch on something. Might have to step away for a second. Just want to give you a heads up, but I'm here. Yeah, it was an interesting week for me, and it's a lot of revelations in my life.
Awesome. Do you want to share any of those with us today?
Yeah, yeah, just some of that. I had some unpleasant experiences. I had somebody attack me online and just writing me all kind of nasty things and messages and just all kind of things that I think were very hurtful to me. And I, it affected me in a negative way, and I'm still processing it. I'm just still trying to figure out what's what and how to proceed and what to do. But I just find that it's part of the course. Not everyone gonna accept your vibe. Not everyone gonna accept your energy, and it may irritate something in them. Like for example, I laugh a lot. I laugh out loud, and for some people, it's like, oh, you laugh too much, or you laugh too little, or you laugh in this way. Well, if it's so bothersome to you, life was it like has 7 billion people. Please spend time with them.
That's it.
Just like that. And it was really so I will just calm down and maybe share in the future. But it has
Sure.
been challenging for me, Nick, and I do need the encouragement because it was tough. It was tough. I feel like an attack on me personally. And I mean, there's more I'll tell later. But yeah,
Well, I'm so sorry that you experienced that.
yeah,
When people attack, just it sounds like the very core of who we are, it it causes us, it can either get us depressed
yeah,
or it can cause us to kind of evaluate and affirm, you know, because of my background, not everyone accepts me, especially initially. And
yeah.
I think that's kind of okay though. But when people don't, and they've spent time with me and they see who I am day after day, am I scattered? Absolutely. But I have a good heart, and I've had to evaluate that. I've had to go back. Is my heart good? Are my intentions, are my motives good? Are they in the right place?
Yeah.
And I know you. I've journeyed with you for, it's great to say, a few years now. And
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It truly is. Truly is. Yeah.
but I know that your heart's in the right place, and you've helped me so much, Mark. And
Oh,
I know that came up from a place of authenticity. It came from a place of genuine love. And if anyone has anything to say about you, I hope that they'll talk with me, because
well, it's I'll
you've
tell
been
more. I'll just have
wonderful.
to step away for 1 second.
Okay. No worries. Thank you for being here today. And, you know, that's how it is. The other evening, I noticed I was in an experience where we moved a few things on stage at the church. And I had a wonderful time that evening. And we couldn't even get the instrument to sound with our system. It was kind of funny. But I was having the best time. But I noticed that other people in that rehearsal setting were having different experiences. One person seemed kind of upset, others were really digging in. One person just kind of seemed overwhelmed. They were getting over being sick. And one person was grieving for a friend. It's so interesting. We can all be in the same place physically, but in so many different places personally, emotionally. And although we're present, sometimes our experience is going to be skewed by other things that are going on. Now, all the time, you're going to hear people say, just leave everything at the door. But we're humans. It's difficult to do that. It's difficult for us to check our baggage, our emotional baggage, our work baggage, our family life baggage. It's difficult to do that because it's part of who we are. And so in that rehearsal, I saw everyone having just a little bit of a different experience, but we were all in the same place. That's life. Life is like that. In a Toastmasters meeting, or as you're preparing for a TEDx talk, or in any type of Kiwanis or Rotary Club, or whatever the organization is, especially if you serve on a board, you're going to have 7, 8 different people sitting there. And although you're all together, you all have the same mission, your perspective is going to be different because our lives are different. And that is the great thing. And the worst thing at times about working with people is we're different.
Yeah.
We're different, and we have to accept that. We process things differently. We work differently. We interact differently. And coming from a place of encouragement and just loving people and loving to sit back and watch people, I had a great time that evening just realizing that I'm one of the group, I'm one of the team. And,
Mm,
I'm even as the team leader, I'm not more important than my team members.
mhm.
I'm just one of the team. And I love that collective energy that comes without ego, that comes without pretense. And we're all there having our different life experiences, but having one shared goal. And, that's who we are. That's where we are. I'm sure that with what I just shared, you can think about the days you show up to work. If you work kind of in the corporate world or just a 9 to 5 job, you might go in having the best day ever, and then others around you have lost a loved one. They have experienced a financial loss. I know someone right now that's struggling with transportation. Everything in her life was going really, really well. Her car broke down. She doesn't have the finances to cover it. And now then she's paying 50, $60 a time for an Uber on the way to work and then on the way home. So she's not really even making the money she needs to live, let alone to save for that car repair. And so when we interact with people, we don't know a lot of times what they're going through or what they're celebrating.
Yeah. 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 Oh my goodness, you are just on fire today. Every day you are on this amazing fire of encouragement and wisdom. And today, like I said, Nick, this week has been rough for me, and I don't usually admit it. I don't usually admit it. But I just wanted to enjoy this experience today. And it's so true when you said we don't know what is the perspective of the other. We only see it from our perspective. We can think, we can imagine. So, how do we reconcile these different life experiences with others? And I feel that we have to remember to use respect, to use
Yes.
tactful language. We can
Yes.
never assume anything. And I
Know what
rather,
assume means, right?
oh, and
In the Bible, they say, no.
I don't know. It's what I would say
Don't
is
be a donkey.
don't be a donkey. Don't be a donkey. That is a good one. That is a good one. Oh, I think we should put it on a t-shirt. Don't be a donkey. Arc of encouragement every Friday.
Yes.
Um, so what I want to say is I rather take maybe 15 more seconds or 20 more seconds to frame my statement, a question, um, an objection in such a way that doesn't neglect, like because we have to reconcile the differences in temperature, mental attitudes, and people come from different parts of the world. So take extra time to understand, to position yourself versus, letting it all burn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and people look, I don't know, I have been the subject of public attacks as well. I'm not sure if yours has been public as well, but people watch how we respond. And even as you're sharing today, I think people get to know us better when they see us respond to adversity. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that because things aren't always the best.
No.
They're not, but how we respond, especially as encouragement and hope heroes, you
Mm,
know, it it provides kind of a template for others as they may meet their own adversity and not know how to respond or want to respond the way they always have. But remember, hey, Mark didn't respond like that.
yeah.
And So let's be that art of encouragement. Let's be that example to people as people attack us. How we respond makes all the difference. And at that point, to remember when people attack us, it's not always about us, it's about them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
about them. And I hope that they are able to change. I hope that you can inspire them to change through your response, but it may not happen. At the end of the day, though, it's not up to you to change anyone. It's not up to me to change anyone. We may inspire change, we may spread hope, but we can't force hope and we can't force change on anyone. And depriving them of that choice would be depriving them of the human experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, it's a lot to we have such an interesting co-hosting experience. You have this, sometimes you're very up, sometimes you're struggling. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm struggling, which is today. And what I appreciate is your integrity, your integrity to who you are, and that matters. That counts for a lot. So consistency, just showing up for me as your friend, and I think it means a lot. I think it means the world, and hopefully it means something for others who are listening right now. Like, do you have friends like this in your life? And you say, hey, man, this was a rough week. Darn it, I need you to just to be there, just to hear me out. May not solve much, but may solve something. But I just need you to be there for me, and no questions, no judgments. Just help me out. Give me that space, and I just love that. And if you're listening right now, whoever, if you do, you have those your champions of encouragement in your life. What I find is when you may not even be in the mood to encourage, but having those people around you over time, you will have this leak, like a mirror effect. You will be encouraging, they'll be encouraging. And yeah, just, if you don't have those people, start, investing in yourself, thinking, maybe the adversity that you have experienced, not maybe, it is a gift if you can see it, if you can see it and think, okay, well, this may be a wake up call of some sort, for you to reconsider something. Maybe, wake you up from your nap.
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to be there for those in our circle. Those, we have associates, but we have friends. You're a friend. And although we have, a business partnership and that sort of thing, one day we'll make some money with it. But, in the meantime, us being present for each other is the most valuable gift we can give. To truly be there for those around you. Tonight, I'm really excited. You know Heather Carlton, right?
Yes, yes, I met her. She's a wonderful human being.
Oh, she really is. And we've discovered so many connections. It turns out she was best friends with the woman that adopted my children. What a small world. I know, I think I've shared that with you. And we
Oh,
were at lunch one day and we discovered this. This was after she had been there to support me for my TEDx talk. This was after she had been there and just shown up so many times. As we were talking one day, we realized we had that connection. And it's amazing that our friendship wasn't predicated on that. It wasn't formed on that. It was just a God wink of, I I've got you. I know who you need to be around. And she encouraged me so much. And she was there at last year when I spoke at the St. Augustine Amphitheater, and you can say
mm.
this far better than I can. What is the name of it?
Are we talking about the Pecha Kucha? Pecha Kucha?
Yes.
Pecha
Yes.
Kucha.
And I encouraged her then to give her own talk. She's doing that tonight. And
Tonight. She's doing it tonight. Okay.
tonight,
On
at
March 1st, right? Today
on
is March
March
1st.
1st. Today is March
It's
1st.
good.
She's doing that tonight, less than a year after I was pumping her up and encouraging her to do that. Here she is. And I wouldn't miss it for the world. She was there for me. She was at the TEDx talk, and she is just such a special human being. But, you know, all friendships start somewhere. There was a connection, and we just continued that connection, and look how it comes full circle.
Yeah. You
So
got to give it sometimes it's what I found is most times it's not immediate. And I think right now a lot of people are being fooled in a way that because of social media and the way that AI works, people don't always work that way. Technology is so far ahead of what I think human interaction is. It takes people to trust you and for you to trust people and for this trust to fall, to form and to forge. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting things happening in AI, but the human brain does not advance as fast as the AI. So that's why that's why you have to be patient, um, and let the natural connections develop, but be present. Do more than necessary. And if you have criticism, how some people have said, then you're doing something right. Um,
it
you're not ice cream. You cannot make everyone happy, and you have to stand up for yourself and draw boundaries. And also, if you're in business, draw up objectives and expectations. Be clear, and just and work on your craft. That's what it takes. It takes time. It takes time. It's not immediate. Nothing is immediate.
absolutely not. And when I think of our vodcast here, we've been doing this for about 9 months now.
Are you kidding me? Is that right? 9 months on. Oh wow.
9 months now. And I've absolutely loved our journey together through this. I have absolutely loved it. I was going back through editing some of our videos and setting up our YouTube channel. In fact, I tried to have us go live for both Facebook and YouTube today, but we don't have enough views yet and that sort of thing to live stream with YouTube yet, but we
Mhm.
will get there. I believe in us.
Yes, yes,
And I just think it's so cool this journey you and I have been on together.
right.
And there have been hiccups. There have been incredible personal struggles on my part, health wise, relationship wise. But you've been there for me, and our viewers and our listeners today, I hope that they can find the connection like you and I have, and like Heather and I have. Genuine people that, it is totally mutual. It is a time of support. I love getting to go places and cheer you on. I love being there for Heather tonight and cheering her on, and that's part of it. Don't always just be the person that's being cheered on. Be there for others. Cheer for them. Encourage those who have encouraged you. Because once again, like you're saying, you're my coach. You've been my encourager. Today you're struggling. And it's a gift to me to be able to encourage you, Mark,
Thank
because
you.
you've done so much to encourage me.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome. And
Thank
you're
you.
one of the
Thank you.
most articulate speakers I have ever met in my life. You do things with intention, you do things well, you do things with integrity. And I look at you as one of my role models. You're one of the people I want to be like when I grow up one day, you know?
Well, there's not a much difference in our age. I think you'll be there sooner than you
I
think.
think, but
In
you
the
know what I
mindset.
mean.
Yeah, of
Let's
course. Of course.
so so support those around you, encourage those around you. On Monday night, I started. a new journey, I guess, with the church right here on Zoom. We started a Lenten study called From Ashes to Hope, and it had been advertised. I gave announcements about it, and so many people were interested, but only two people showed up.
Mm,
But at first, I was thinking, well, that didn't work well. But the conversation I was able to have with one person was off camera and muted and they were not engaging, but the other person that was there and I had such an amazing conversation about Lent. And the person said, I don't know how to pray. And we had an amazing time that I think was just it was the way it was supposed to be. It was the way God had set it up. And she and I were able to talk 30, 45 minutes about some of the basic elements of faith, about prayer, about not it just being about getting your checklist done, but really going into a place of authenticity with God, even. And that wasn't by chance. That wasn't by mistake. And if we only look at numbers as an indicator of effectiveness or success, we miss the boat. It's the value, it is the genuine connection. I
mhm,
was able to share more with her in that one on one experience than I believe she's had and she's absorbed in years of going to church. And
wow.
when we're there for people and when we encourage them, it it helps us find our own peace. It reminds us of our own hope and it keeps us on that path. So if you're struggling today because you don't have the numbers, if you're struggling today because, as everyone else is looking, they're filling the rooms, they're doing this, that's great for them. And I'm happy for them. But don't undervalue yourself because you don't have a lot of numbers. If you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, that your heart is in the right place, then you have mastered the art of encouragement because that's the heart of encouragement.
Mm, mm. I don't know what to say. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Thank you for this gift, my friend.
Thank you. And let's talk later. I want to check up on you and that sort of thing, but hang in there. Have an amazing day. To all of you who are watching, if you're struggling today, if someone's talking about you, write to us because we think you're awesome already.
Right?
We
Yeah.
want to encourage you and just keep going. Keep going. People may say, "Oh, you can't do that." I was told that so many times when I was leaving incarceration. "Oh, you wouldn't be able to do that. You couldn't do that." And these were from both people who had previously been incarcerated themselves, as well as a couple of friends of mine that had, one had journeyed with me for a few years. And I said, "You can't do that, not with your past."
Mm,
Don't let those mindsets limit you. Don't let those mindsets limit you.
mhm,
You can do it. Don't listen to others. Listen to your heart. Listen to God. Listen to those around you that are speaking encouragement, that are speaking life, and that are speaking a future, because that's where you find your hope. Keep going, Mark. Keep going, everyone listening. We can do this. We can do this. And I can't wait to see everyone next week, 10 a.m. Fridays, for the art of encouragement. Have a good week.
thank you, everyone. Bye bye.